Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, worshippers of all ages, welcome to YouTube. My name is SeaRaptor, and today I'm bringing you, well, a special replay in honor of a special event occurring this week here in North America. That's right, this replay is coming to you from the bridge of Tier VIII Premium American destroyer USS Kidd, which, incidentally, this coming Friday will be the last stop of the Anchors Away tour in 2019 here in North America. Yeah, I know it's 2020, but whatever. They make the schedule, they set the rules. Now, a couple of things I need you to know about this replay. This is about 18 months old. This is a very, very old replay. This game is actually from June of 2018. I've had this replay on my hard drive for a very long time. So you're going to see some mods, possibly hear some of the old game sounds that might jump out at you from if you've been playing recently. So just a quirk of what you're watching. Sorry. But this replay is very special for me, and as you might gather from the title, in nearly 5 years of playing World of Warships, I have only 2 Solo Warrior achievements. This game is the second one, and the most recent. To be brutally honest, I don't even remember the first one, but I know this was the last one I earned. Spawning here on the north side of Sleeping Giant. Now, this is back in an era when Sleeping Giant was still a fairly new map, right? And I'm doing what a destroyer does kind of on this side of the map. I'm playing wide, I'm looking to spot things, and here I am running early on into an enemy Mahan. Now, as a kid, when I play a kid, I am totally unafraid to get in a gunfight, especially in this era, when there were basically no British destroyers, far fewer destroyers had heals, and so I'm happy to shoot at this guy, but what's inexplicable to me is he utterly refuses to shoot back. Not once does this guy ever pull the trigger on his guns. Now, I know it means he's trying to get torpedoes off on me, so I'm intentionally playing this engagement knowing that I'm going to have to eventually put my bow in and try and dodge these torpedoes, and of course they're going down the wrong side. I get him very low. He shoots at the Cleveland behind me. Friendly Benson comes in, bags my kill, but that's alright. Just like that, we're up a ship here as the Benson and I will go to work on A very quickly. Now, looking across the team, this is a Tier 9 game, technically. But each team only has one Tier 9 ship. That is a battleship. We have a Missouri. They have a Friedrich der Grosse. Now, at the beginning of the game, what you didn't see, I kind of trimmed it out here before the match started, that enemy Atlanta division. Did you catch that? There's 2 Atlantas and a Flint, all in the same div. And I pointed out to my team, especially the battleships, you can kind of see it there in the chat window. I said, guys, pro tip, if you can kill the Flint, the Atlantas will struggle a bit more. That's kind of prophetic, and it really, really comes back late in the game. So just pay attention. There's a lot to unpack here. We pick up A very quickly, as my team is making a play for D, but as you can tell by the fact that we're literally, the 4 ships here are all the only ships on this side of the map. The entire enemy team has lemming trained to the southeastern corner of the map. They are all, every last bloody ship, either at D or going in that direction. You can kind of guess from the mini-map that Friedrich der Grosse actually hasn't quite gotten out of the C-cap, so he's hanging out in there. But we're on a 1-cap lead here early. Not quite 4 minutes gone, and this game is bloody. Oh, we missed a ship. There's a enemy Tirpitz coming around the corner, but he's point blank with the Benson. I'm willing to bet that doesn't end well for the Tirpitz. Let's see what happens. Enemy does bag a kill as they pick up the Indianapolis, who was kind of pushed up a little farther than I would think I would have been in his shoes, way over at the D-cap. As Missouri bags a Hipper, ships are dying super. We're not even 5 minutes into this game yet, and ships are dying. Ships are falling quick. Now, the enemy, our friendly Benson, put a lot of damage into that Tirpitz, but he's trying to back away and salvage his ship now, and let the friendly Tirpitz come in and follow that off. So a little bit of drama at A, but that's going to be over very, very soon, as now we've wandered into the radar range of that Atlanta. You see that Atlanta that I spotted earlier? He's right there in about F7. That guy had me lit just briefly at the tail end of his radar. Still waiting for that Tirpitz engagement behind me to end, and now it finally does, as I'm now literally able to get into C-cap already. I'm already in the enemy spawn cap, and we're not even 5 minutes gone quite yet. But I decide that I don't want to go around the corner and be right in the face of this Friedrich der Grosse. He's pointed the other way. He's moving away from me. I'm going to come in behind him. I'm going to use this island to kind of mask my approach as best I can. I don't want... If I sail around the corner right now, his secondaries will start lighting me up. I'm going to let him get a little distance here, so that by the time I come around the corner, he is... Oh, what's he doing? Oh, he's turning back. Well, that feels terrible. Why would you do that? Why would you do that? Fine. So now you're going to see me do something that I sometimes get in trouble doing in my USS Kidd, and that is I'm going to get into a gunfight with something much, much bigger than me. But I'm waiting at the moment to see how this torpedo salvo goes. You'll notice I kind of overled those a bit, intentionally, expecting him to continue to turn wide. And he is still turning. But now I kind of discern that he's basically going to miss. Those torpedoes are all going to pass in front of him. And now... Yep, now we open up with the guns. One of the things that Kidd's heels allow you to do is they allow you to take liberties. You can be a little more cavalier, maybe that's the right word, cavalier with your health pool than you otherwise might be in an American gunboat. And it's one of the things that makes playing the ship a lot more fun, because just like this, I can just pick on this Friedrich all day long. Now it helps, of course, that I have backup coming. Friendly Tirpitz and Benson have moved around the corner, and I've got a Cleveland who's cut through the A-cap, and as he's coming down the 5 line, they'll be here in moments. But after suffering some damage from this guy's secondaries and stuff, I decide, nah, I've had enough of this. Let's just farm him from the cover of smoke, because I'm willing to bet that he does not want to court a close-range engagement with the Tirpitz. And sure enough, he sees the Tirpitz, he sees my smoke, he sees all the other help, and my bet pays off, and he turns around. Now, this is also a little bit... I won't characterize this as a misplay. What I'm doing here is incredibly risky. Remember, this guy has hydro that in this era goes out to about 5.5 kilometers, I think? I'm still safely outside his hydro range, but he could have continued to charge me. He declined, and that was his choice. But I'm basically just going to sit here and farm this guy for damage. So while that goes on, let's have a quick look at the tactical situation, how the game has played out. Now, we had a 2-ship lead at one point. When I left the A-cap and turned to come down this way, we had a 2-ship lead. That has evaporated. You see now both teams sitting on 4 kills apiece, with about 7.5 minutes gone. The enemy team firmly in control of D, as our team north of D seems to really just be floundering, not really sure what to do. Friendly Cleveland now into the top end of C. Tirpitz, myself, the Benson, we all finish off this Friedrich, as now it's time to get back and cap C. So we're going to have a cap advantage, and we do at the moment have a ship advantage. But both top-tier battleships are off the board here, and that took less than 8 minutes. The enemy team continuing to be fairly aggressive, pushing way up the 9 line. You see that Colorado in E9? He's got 2 Bensons with him, backed up by a Bismarck, kind of at, I guess, longer ranges there. But those Bensons are being pretty aggressive, honestly. Admittedly, there's nothing up there that can detect them other than the Akatsuki, and he's pushed way back. So we're going to bag C as they pick up the Algeri. And again, we're both on 5 kills, but we now have a pretty solid little cap advantage here, starting to grow that lead of about 80 points. Now, we have some spotting here. The Cleveland, obviously, in front of me, able to take shots over the island because the teammates up on the BC line are spotting some things for him. But, of course, they're all out of my render range. So, right now, I'm looking across the board now. We lose the KG, so now we're down a ship. The Tirpitz and the Leon are now our last surviving battleships, and I'm willing to bet you that Leon is not going to last very long under the concentrated fire of all of those various ships. So very soon, this Tirpitz is going to be a very valuable board piece that we cannot afford to give up. Continue to steam in this direction. I really want to get eyes on this this Atlantid, but this is a huge risk, right? They have radar, they have smoke. Like, they can sit in the flint smoke and radar me, and there's pretty much jack crap that I can do about it. That Benson up there is kind of acting as a bit of a tripwire. He's closer than I am, as our Akatsuki drops, and now we're upside down 2 ships and upside down on points at the halfway mark of the match. So, things looking decent early, but kind of starting to fall apart. So I changed my tactics. I decide, no, I'm not going around this corner. I'm just not. I'm not going to do it. We do spot the Flint here. I really need the Tirpitz or the Cleveland to get this guy off the board, but he smokes. So I dump my torpedoes astern of the Cleveland. That Flint it looks like he actually kept running, but I couldn't afford for him to sit in there. He was right at the edge of my torpedo range. But it was worth a chance as I decided to push north. Now, what I'm doing here is I'm just trying to take a different tack into the decap. Or at least spot something. So I'm pushing up the 6 line here, hoping to run into something else. I can't get to the Bensons. I think there's just no way that's going to happen. They're too far north, and I don't know where that last Atlanta is. And to me, that is the big risk. My team is doing a great job trying to get this Flint off the board. See there, the Benson torps crossing into that smoke in front of me. I've got torps going in there. And the Flint is actually out of the smoke, or just barely on the far edge of it, on the back side. Bismarck coming in, and I decide to shell him, and that lights me up for the one thing that I don't want to see. The other enemy Atlanta, right in front of me. Now, I'm not in his radar range yet, but I am lit because I fired. So this is going to be unpleasant. How much I can do about it, I've just got to wait for my detection to drop. I'm waiting for my detection to drop off before, or at least get a little closer. Double fire. I decide to. Oh, it's a bit of a risk, but I've got it. Okay. All right, now I've just got to hope his radar is down. Please be down. Please be down. Seems to be down. Okay. 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 All right. I'm good. I'm good. We're gonna live. I've got just barely enough room here to squeeze into this cap. He hard spots me for seconds before I get behind cover, and there I am on into the cap. The radar timing, he comes up right there after I'm out of his range, or he has no shot because of the island. But his buddy, the other Atlanta, is on the far side of the cap. And this this Colorado also has shots on me if he wants them. So now, me and the Benson, I'm like, all right, we got to get in here. We got to get a cap back. As, oof, this is not where I want to be. I don't know whose radar this is, but this is really bad. It needs to end. Okay. So, I'm in exactly where you don't want to be in any kind of destroyer environment. Right? I'm literally pinned in the radar range of one Atlanta with another one behind me. I smoke up. I don't want to take a risk. And what I should have done, this is a mistake, right? What I should have done here was start pounding away at this Atlanta with my guns from smoke. I think one of the reasons that I didn't do it, and this is a year and a half old, so it's been a while. I think one of the reasons I didn't take the risk was I didn't know which of the Atlantas had just radar me. It had to have been the one behind me. So I'm assuming then that this guy's radar might still be available. The Flint, gotta get that guy, man. 300 HP on the far edge of the board. The Tirpitz secondaries all over him. The Benson and I shooting at him. Thank God they get him right as his last smoke goes off. So now the Benson and I are in the cap, but the team is upside down 2 ships. Both Atlantas still live, along with both Bensons. This is about the worst scenario I could have possibly envisioned. I get a fire on the Colorado. One of those Atlantas down to 3,400 HP as I decide with this little bit of island cover I have here, I'm going to help out my friendly Tirpitz and get some free damage into this Colorado. I'm actually going around the island here. My torps are not available. I dumped them earlier on that Atlanta, thinking he might go in front of that island, but he didn't. So at this point, I am literally just farming this Colorado wide in the open. And unfortunately, he bags our Tirpitz. So now, with 6 minutes to play at a 40-point lead, it's me and this Benson. Now the Tirpitz's last gasp worked. His torpedoes killed the Colorado. But now, 2 Bensons, 2 Atlantas, versus me and a Benson. And between the 2 of us, we have about 10,000 HP. I've got 2 heals left, but I've just burned one. It's going to be a little while before that heal comes back up. We do have a cap lead. Our lead is growing, but we're going to have a hard time defending these caps with only a couple of ships. And you see there, the healthy Atlanta is coming back in. Pops his radar, picks me up and the other Benson. I ain't going out there. Not a chance, sir. As one of the Bensons already in the cap, you see him there. The other Atlanta behind him. Everybody's shooting. Everybody wants a piece of USS Kidd. I assume that... I'm thinking that maybe one of the Bensons is going to sit in that smoke. So I decide to start taking pot shots. And if nothing else, I can chip some damage off this guy and maybe land a torpedo. Maybe the Atlanta will stumble around the corner. I don't know. We'll see what happens. I got a lot of people shooting at me. But the problem for me, though, That friendly Benson is like trapped in there, and he's about to be point blank with an enemy Benson who has more health. So yeah, that's gonna be a problem. He smokes up, but remember, these are the old smoke rules. So unless he's got somebody else spotting that Benson, he's gonna struggle to spot that Benson outside of his own smoke. Plus, the enemy Benson has more health. Just don't think that's a fight he can win in the long haul. And sure enough, he'll be dead momentarily.
Step right up and get some.
So, just like Duke says, right now, with 4.5 minutes to play, it's Raptor against the world. It's safe to say I'm a little salty at this point, right? I look across at my team and I'm like, what did these battleships do exactly? Right? The Tirpitz, who came with us through the ACAP, around the ACAP, had a pretty good solid game. He made some progress, but what did the rest of these guys do except die, exactly? I'm fishing for this Benson right now. I know where he was last spotted. I'm hoping to bag a cheap reset, but by the way, spoiler alert, it's not going to happen. So now, my next thought is, all right, angle south and see what we can see. The healthy Atlanta is the concern, or the healthy Benson. The healthy Benson, however, is right now he's in the ACAP. The Benson that's in front of me that was in the DCAP is very low HP. And the Atlanta that was last spotted up on the C line, also very low HP. With 10,000 hit points, I can beat one of those, possibly both of those, in a gunfight. But if I get them together, if I get them simultaneously, I'm going to be in a world of pain. 90-point lead begins to shrink now as they go up 2 caps on the cap advantage, so I realize I cannot win this game by running away. If we're going to win this game, I'm going to have to get stuck in and make this happen. So, it's time to get onto the decap and at least try and hold the lead, if nothing else. My torpedoes are reloaded, so if I run into the Atlanta at close range, maybe I can throw a Hail Mary pass and win, but I'm not going to win a close range duel against an Atlanta. It's just not going to happen. Not against the healthy one, anyway. Against the beat-up one? You never know. I'm spotted. It's the beat-up Benson. This is about the best engagement I could have hoped for, assuming that the Atlanta is not nearby to help his buddy. He smokes immediately, but I get just enough shells down range. Bam. Duke calls it. And that is points that we desperately needed. That opens up our lead now to about 120 points with a little less than 2.5 minutes to play. I'm saving my last heal. You can see there on my health bar in the bottom left, I can get more work out of that heal. So I don't want to use it just yet as the full health Atlanta appears astern of me. Okay. Now the good news for me is all I have to do is keep moving. The bad news is I'm already in his radar range. So as soon as he wants to radar me, he can do that. Ugh, this is bad. Assuming he has any radars left. We're 90 seconds left in this game, basically. It's possible he's used them all. It's a die chance I'm just going to have to take. I'm doing everything I can to just try and win this game. But I'm not going to win a gunfight with this guy. He starts blind firing, and hilariously, bags a reset, believe it or not, as I continue to push up the 8 line, looking for some cover. Now, in just a second, I'm going to catch a glimpse of something that is going to change how this plays out. I lose sight of the Atlanta astern of me. Once again, I'm my own spotter, so I no longer have any visibility on the team. There, I catch the guy to the south. The Benson now is, see, there. Just for a split second. See him? I catch that Atlanta, the low health Atlanta, coming up the channel into the cap, right there off my port beam. My torpedoes are down. I can't use those. But that guy has, look at that, less than 2,000 HP. I take a pot shot. Ooh, I get at least 1 pen. That's good for a couple hundred damage. He's in the cap. 6-point lead is about to evaporate. 40 seconds to play. I have to kill this guy, and I know it. I need 2 salvos on this guy. 1,600 HP. There's 1. There's 2. They have a 10-point lead, but bam. Right there, I get a kill, pop a heal, pop my smoke, and run like hell. With 20 seconds left, they own every cap, and our lead is ticking away. Is it going to be enough? Is it going to be enough? You know the answer. You know the answer. I told you the answer at the start of the video. But, wow. What a finish. I did not think we were going to win this game, but that Atlanta getting too close to me And I just took the shot, and bam, those points change,
Disembowelment.
and that's all it takes. Solo Warrior number 2. I do not have, like I said, those are rare, kids. I'm really proud of this one. That was one of those teams you just, you shake your head like, what the hell, guys? And yet we found a way to make it happen. Anyways, guys, I hope to see you aboard USS Kidd this Saturday in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Laissez le bon temps rouler. Come on and enjoy Mardi Gras, and be safe out there, and I'll catch you next time.